Most landscapers think they need to work harder to grow, but the real bottleneck is admin, paperwork, phone calls, scheduling, all the back-end administrative work. And if you don't build systems, your business starts owning you. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I use Jobber software and some of their new AI features to help me run my landscaping business during the busy season. All right, we're here in the home office studio. Let's hop on Jobber right now. I'm going to show you real world what we actually do and how we use AI to run the business. This is fire. Check this out. And I just want to say, I've been running my landscaping business. This is my 16th season doing landscaping installations, ornamental tree trimming, and I have a team of 3 here in Michigan, and I love my business. Let's get into it. If you run a landscaping business, eventually there comes a point where everything starts living inside your head. Customer follow-ups, quotes, scheduling, invoices, payments, callbacks, change orders. And during the busy season especially, it can get overwhelming really fast. Because not only are you trying to do the actual landscaping work, but now you're also trying to run an entire business at the same time. And honestly, that's one of the biggest reasons a lot of landscaping businesses stay stuck. Not because they're bad at landscaping, but because the systems behind the business are chaotic. And at a certain point, if you don't build systems, you become the bottleneck in your own business. So in this video, I want to show you how I actually use Jobber AI and the Jobber CRM to help run my landscaping business. This isn't some fake tech review. This is literally the software we use every single day in our real landscaping company for quotes, scheduling, invoicing, customer communication, payments, follow-ups, and way more. And honestly, some of these AI features are pretty wild. I'm going to show you exactly how we use it in the real world during the busy season. So let's get into it. What Jobber is. All right. So first off, for anybody who doesn't know, Jobber is basically the CRM and business management software we use to run our landscaping business. Everything from scheduling jobs to creating quotes to invoices to customer communication to payment collection to follow-ups, it all runs through Jobber. And what's cool now is they've added a bunch of AI and automation tools that save a ridiculous amount of time, especially during the busy season when things start getting crazy. And if you're running a landscaping business or lawn care business, you already know what I mean. The phone starts ringing nonstop. Customers want estimates. People need schedule changes. You've got invoices piling up. And then if you don't have systems, it gets messy fast. Now for context. I run a landscaping business here in Michigan. We do landscaping installs, mulch, trimming, ornamental tree work, cleanups, garden bed maintenance, and all types of property improvement work. And over the years, I've learned that one of the biggest differences between a stressful business and a scalable small business is systems, not hustle. Systems. The old way, now, before using systems like this, I used to have stuff everywhere. Sticky notes, text messages, missed callbacks, writing estimates late at night, trying to remember who approved what, trying to remember who still owed money, trying to remember who needed to get scheduled, and mentally, it was exhausting. Because even when you go home, your brain never shuts off. You're lying in bed trying to remember if you followed up with that customer, or if you sent that invoice, or if you scheduled that landscaping job. And the crazy thing is, a lot of contractors think that stress is just part of owning a business. They get used to it. But honestly, a lot of it is operational chaos. That's what software like Jobber helps fix and why systems matter. Not because software magically builds your business for you, but because it frees up mental bandwidth. And by the way, at any time, I'm a Jobber ambassador. If you want to get a huge discount to Jobber software with my exclusive link, I'll put the link below to Jobber. You get a free 2-week trial, and you can onboard it into your business right away. So let's start walking through the workflow. So let me show you a basic example of how we use Jobber during a normal day. A customer reaches out needing landscaping work done, and maybe they found us on Google, and maybe they got referred by a neighbor. So I'm going home here. There's a submission form that you can actually copy and paste the code onto your website, and then they can reach out directly through your website. All right, so if I go to create right here, I can create a new client, request, quote, job, or invoice, right? So if a new client has a request, we can schedule an estimate, and we can organize notes for that customer. Here's all their contact info stored inside a Jobber.
which is a CRM, customer relationship management software. And then you can actually assign it to somebody on the team. And then you can send the customer a booking link to let them know that they're on the calendar for an actual quote. Okay, so you can organize notes, store photos, track communication. Everything is centralized, and that alone is huge because when your business grows, information scattered everywhere becomes a nightmare. You want to get it all out of your head and get it into the cloud, onto Jobber software. Remember that. Now, instead of searching through text messages and notebooks and random papers, it's all organized in one place. And then from there, we can schedule the estimate visit. And one thing I really like is how clean the scheduling is. Look at this. I'm going to go over to the schedule tab. See, it's a calendar, and it actually pushes out to your Google Calendar as well. So everything is here. It's the entire brain of the business. So especially when you're trying to route multiple jobs and estimates during the busy season, because wasted drive time kills productivity. We know that. And when you're trying to fit in estimates between jobs, every little gap matters. Now here's the really cool part.
And the next cool feature that I've seen recently with Jobber that they released is called Jobber Voice. Now this is where things start getting futuristic. Let's be honest, as landscapers, we're not sitting behind desks all day. We're moving, we're driving, we're going from job site to job site, we're hooking up trailers, we're on the go. So being able to handle your business hands-free is actually really useful with Jobber Voice. For example, check this out. I can literally walk a property while speaking notes directly into Jobber. Customer wants black mulch in jack pine tree garden bed, clean up jack pine tree branch that's fallen over, and install black diamond edging. And now, instead of trying to remember everything later, it's already documented. That saves a ton of mental energy. And honestly, that's the real thing AI should be doing, not replacing people. So this is where Jobber helps business owners move faster, helps them stay organized, and reduces overwhelm. This is where it gets exciting. Now let's talk about one of my favorite features, Quote Auto Draft, because quoting used to absolutely eat up my evenings. Check this out.
You get home, exhausted after working all day, and now you still have 3 or 4 estimates to build. That gets old fast. And if you're manually typing every single quote from scratch, it takes forever. I'm inside of the Jobber software right here, and you can see there's quotes, jobs, invoices. You can literally do everything right inside of here. You can create the quotes, and there's templates that allow you to build it all. So it's the brain of your business. So now what Jobber does is help draft quotes based on templates and previous work. So instead of reinventing the wheel every single time, it speeds up the process dramatically. And obviously I still review everything carefully, but the amount of time it saves is huge because sometimes the hardest part is just getting started. Now suddenly you're not staring at a blank screen, you already have structure. You already have line items. So you already have formatting, and it still looks professional for the customer. That's important too, because presentation matters. Customers absolutely judge professionalism based on communication and estimates. And when they receive something clean and organized, it builds confidence immediately. And honestly, before systems like this, I had estimates stacked up everywhere. That backlog creates stress. Now it's way smoother. Another feature that's super useful is find a time. And if you run a landscaping business, you already know scheduling can get chaotic. Rain delays, reschedules, estimate visits, materials pickups, crew coordination, everything is constantly moving. So instead of staring at the calendar trying to manually figure everything out, Jobber helps identify the best openings based on availability and drive time. That's really helpful when you're trying to maximize productivity, because the more efficient your routes and scheduling becomes, the smoother the whole business runs. And honestly, scheduling chaos is one of the fastest ways to burn yourself out, especially when customers are texting and calling nonstop asking, when can you fit me in? So having better systems around scheduling helps reduce that pressure a lot. Now, another thing that's huge is automated reminders and follow-ups. Going into here and the schedule. Because one thing I learned a long time ago, the fortune is in the follow-up. But the problem is when business gets busy, follow-ups are usually the first thing people stop doing. Not because they don't care, but because they simply forget. Now Jobber can automatically remind customers about appointments, follow up on quotes, follow up on invoices, request reviews, and help maintain communication without you manually doing every little thing yourself. That's powerful because consistency builds trust, and customers appreciate communication. Even simple reminders create a more professional experience. At any time that you're watching this, you can get a huge discount with my exclusive ambassador Jobber link in 2 weeks totally free by clicking the link below. Just look for Jobber, click the link, and integrate this into your business. Now let's talk about invoicing and payments, because at the end of the day, cash flow matters. You can be amazing at landscaping, but if your invoicing system is messy, it creates problems fast. I'm on invoicing, and look at all these invoices. You can see what's past due. You can see your average invoice amount, so it's your average ticket. One thing I really like about being able to invoice customers professionally and quickly, and customers can pay online easily. That speeds collections up dramatically. And the easier you make it for customers to pay, the faster you usually get paid. Simple. And again, this all comes back to reducing friction in the business. Less chasing people down, less confusion, less manual work, more organization, more professionalism. Now, I want to say something important. Software alone does not magically build a successful business. You still need work ethic, skill, customer service, integrity, leadership, but good systems absolutely amplify your business. And honestly, one of the biggest mindset shifts I have had over the years is realizing you cannot scale chaos. At some point, you need operational structure. That's what Jobber does. Otherwise, everything depends entirely on you remembering everything, and that becomes exhausting. That's why tools like Jobber have been so helpful for us. Not because it removes hard work, but because it helps organize the hard work. And during busy season, especially. That matters a lot. So hopefully this video gave you a real behind the scenes look at how we actually use Jobber AI and the Jobber CRM inside of our landscaping business. And again, this is the real software we use for quotes, scheduling, invoices, payments, customer communication, follow-ups, and honestly, it's helped us save a lot of time and stay way more organized. If you want to try Jobber for yourself, I put a link down in the description and the first pin link in the comments where you can get a free 14-day trial. Definitely check it out. And if you run a landscaping business, lawn care business, or home service business, let me know in the comments what part of running your business takes up the most time right now. I appreciate you guys. See you in the next video.